Hey y'all, Mikey from Rockin' K. And if you follow the homesteading channel, the adventures channel, we have a balcony power plant. And I've been looking to get more power out of it. So in my searches, I've come across the Ecoflow stream system. The Ecoflow stream system is just, to me, it's a game changer. This is one of the first reviews that I'm actually doing for the review channel. So if you like it, please comment, please subscribe. We are going to be reviewing anything and everything that has to do with home improvement, getting off grid, just those things that I am using here while, going through everyday life. So enough of that. Let's talk about this system. This Ecoflow stream system is a game changer. So there's 4 variants of the Ecoflow stream system, as you see here, with the battery and the various integrated electronics. You have the Ecoflow Ultra, which you see here. You have the Ecoflow Stream Pro, which is very similar to the Ultra. The Ecoflow Stream AC and Ecoflow AC Pro, Ecoflow Stream AC Pro. So what's the difference in all these? Well, you start out with the Ultra. The Ultra is the top of the line of their system currently. It has the 1.92 kilowatt hour battery that's inside the unit, and it's paired with 4 MPPT inputs that allow you to run 4 solar panels. In addition to that, on the back, there's 2 AC outlets that allow you to draw from just this unit 2,300 watts through the outlet. However, 1,200 are supplied either by the solar panels or the battery, and the rest is actually going to be supplied through the power grid. Now, where the game changes is if you add any of the others, the other 3 to this system, then you can draw 2,300 watts from your system, nothing from the grid. So that's the Ultra. The Ultra has the 4 MPPTs, 2 AC outlets, 1.92 kilowatt hour battery. And then what happens is if you pair it with something like this, you get the 2,300. Then we have the Ecoflow Stream Pro. The Stream Pro is very, very similar to the Ultra. The only difference is there's 3 MPPT inputs instead of 4, meaning 4 solar panels for that. It does have the additional AC outlets on the back so that you can draw that big power of 1,200 watts from the unit or the 2,300 from the pair of units. And yeah, excellent, just one step below this. Then you have the AC Pro, which is what is here on my right. The AC Pro, when coupled with this, gives you your 2,300 watts. The AC Pro has 0 MPPT inputs. So this would be more for somebody that already has a balcony power plant with a microinverter, because they could plug it in directly into those 2 AC outlets that are on the back, and it's bidirectional. And what you would have is your balcony solar plant would charge the battery inside the unit, as well as provide the 800 watts allowable to the network. Now, they also have one other, which is, I would say for the next one, it's the Ecoflow Stream AC. It's more for paralleling to these units, and the only issue with the AC Pro is it only has 1 connection point on the back, so you can't actually daisy chain multiple units. But what you can do is hook it parallel to the Ecoflow Ultra, and then you're at the 2,300 watts. Now, they do vary in prices, of course, the most expensive being the Ultra, and then they come down anywhere from 100 to 200 euros or dollars as you move down the line with the, with it going AC, the Ecoflow Stream Ultra, the most expensive. The next step down, of course, would be the Stream Pro, where you lose one of those MPPT inputs. Then down to the AC Pro, which there's no MPPTs and still has the 2 outlets on the back. And then it goes down one more step to the Ecoflow Stream AC, which no AC outlets on the back, no MPPTs, and just the grid outlet on the back of the unit. You can learn more if you go over to Ecoflow, and you can see what the actual variants of the systems are. At current, there's only those 4 variants. What is crazy is there's the 1.92 kilowatt hour battery in these. And of course, as you hook them up inside of your home electric network, you can end up with up to 11.52 kilowatt hours of electrical storage in your house. Now, like other grid-tied, say, microinverters, you will not have power from your household outlets should there be a loss in grid power. However, any of these Ecoflow units with the AC outlets in the middle, in the back, you can turn those on, and as long as you have battery power in any of the units, you can utilize that stored battery power in the Ecoflow unit without the grid. You could then run an essential load, such as you want to make sure your refrigerator keeps going in a power outage. Me, I love my coffee. I have to have my coffee, especially in the morning, but 1 or 2 cups during the day. And it'll let you run a coffee pot so you can have some coffee. So it functions very, very similar to any of your microinverters and your grid ties, where the electricity absolutely will not be fed into your house, into your standard outlet, when there is no power available at that outlet. That's a safety feature that actually is a safety feature for you, because as you know, when you plug in plug into an outlet, there's 2 metal prongs on your plug. If there was power there and you touch them, you'd get a shock, right? So the inverters in these look for power before they'll send power. This way, when you have that plug, that you don't electrocute yourself. The other thing is, if you have somebody working, whether it be in your house, like let's say you're working in your house and you flip the circuit breaker off in the panel, but you forget you have one of these hooked up, and you work on that circuit, those wires would be live if it didn't have that safety feature. And then it goes out to the lineman working on the power lines. If you have a power outage and it's due to the utility with a power line issue, those power lines would be charged. So know that this has that integrated safety feature that would stop the potential of electrocution of yourself, actually handling the plug that plugs into the wall, and or an electrician doing work on a circuit, or the lineman doing work on the actual power lines. The batteries in these are a lithium style battery, but they're not that dangerous lithium ion stuff. What they are is they're LiFePO4 lithium iron phosphate batteries. It is the most stable chemistry out there. If you're storing energy and you want the safest form of energy storage, LiFePO4 lithium iron phosphate is the way to go. They're not dangerous like you hear in the news with all these people with an e-bike where they buy an e-bike and they're charging it and it catches on fire, burns their garage down or anything like that, know that those are lithium ion batteries. They're not lithium iron phosphate batteries. So the chemistry in these, very stable. They do have, they're advertised with a 6,000 cycle life limit, meaning you can totally charge and discharge it 6,000 times. Well, what does that mean in just, common terms? Well, if I was to charge and discharge this fully 300 times in a year, because there's 365 days, and I'd like to think that we'd have at least 65 days where we had enough sunshine that I didn't drain the batteries all the way, right? 300 cycles in a year. Well, do the math. That is a very, very, very long time on a set of batteries. If we just look at it, that's 300 times 10. We'll throw a zero on the end. That's 10 years, and you've only used 3,000 cycles. So with that said, these batteries shouldn't age out or should not wear out. They're going to age out. They're going to get to the point where they're just too old to work, not too many cycles. So you don't have to worry about cycling them. Ecoflow does give you a 10-year warranty on these items, so that is a big bonus. Make sure if you buy these that you do get them registered and get that warranty active so that you can, if needed at a later date, do your warranty. You are able to, like as I said earlier, you're able to do 6 of these, right? So the game-changing feature of these is the 6 do not need to be linked together physically. In order to get to 2,300 watts, it is easier to use a parallel cable between 2 of them, but this system can be decentralized. This system, you can have one in your living room, one in your shed or your garage or wherever your solar panels are, because you can put, like if I wanted to, I could take this one that has the MPPTs. I can put this down in my lower barn because that's where my solar panels are located. And I can hook up my solar panels to this, and my solar panels will generate energy and put any excess energy in here. Now, here's the game-changing part. I can take this one, put it in my laundry room next to my washer and my dryer. Plug my washer and my dryer into the AC outlets in the middle of the back, and then plug in the actual grid plug into the socket on the wall. And then when these are networked together in the app, the 2 of them will supply power to my washer and dryer. Even though they're not in the same room, they're not hooked together, they will support running my washer or my dryer through that center outlet. They will charge themselves. So the AC Pro will charge itself from the solar coming in. It will send it through the house network, through the house cabling, and actually charge the AC Pro. So, like I said, that's what makes this game changing. I could put one in my laundry room. I could put one, the one in the lower barn. I could put one in my workshop. As long as they're on the same connection, network, meter connection, they will support each other and store energy. That's up to, like I was saying, 11.52 kilowatt hours. That's a lot of power. I know I'm an American. I'm here in Europe. And I know in America we use a lot of power because power is really cheap in America. Power for most of America, and I'm not talking about maybe California and some of the higher cost of living states, we're paying like 10 cents a kilowatt hour for electricity. Here, I pay 32 cents. I pay 32 cents per kilowatt hour for electricity. So that's how I had the balcony solar plant. It's paid itself off. The original solar plant, if you go back and you watch my Adventures channel, we have produced 1.3 or 1.4 megawatts of electricity, right? And at 32 cents per kilowatt hour, that unit has pretty much paid for itself, and it's only a year and a half old. Now I know what you're saying. These are a little more expensive, and they are. I think what I'm standing in, behind here is probably around 1,400, 1,500 euro worth of equipment, and it sounds pricey until you realize that with the app and the storage, I can, at a minimum, double my electric savings. My electric bill savings as compared to my balcony solar plant. So that means instead of making saving the 360 or so dollars that I did over the year and a half, it's going to be more around, $700. What does that mean? All right, so it might take 3 years to pay this off. But with the way electric prices have been going, it might be shorter because I had a 26 cent per kilowatt hour electrical rate, and they decided to cancel my contract and say they don't support it any longer because they wanted to get more money out of me. And lo and behold, the new contract that they offered me, it went from 26 cents with that electric company to 36 cents with the same electric company. I changed electric companies and stuff and was able to actually shop around and get a better rate. So I think it's 31 or 32 cents per kilowatt hour. Still very expensive. So these will eventually pay themselves off. I'm hoping in like 2 to 2.5 years, maybe 3, that these 2 units will pay themselves off. But what we need to do is we need to get these out of the box. But the one other thing that I wanted to tell you is if you're planning on getting these, the 2 units and then hooking them together, make sure that you get the cable that hooks the 2 together. So this is a parallel cable that you can get from Ecoflow. And it has one end that goes on the Ultra and one end that goes on the AC Pro. There's a special connection on the back just for this cable to parallel them. Make sure if you buy them as a package deal, it'll usually come with this plug. But make sure it specifically states it comes with this plug. If it does not come with this plug, you're going to have to buy this separately. And I think separately it's like, I don't know, about 20 euros, $20, somewhere around there, because that's what I paid for it. So I do have that as well. Now, let's get these out of the box. I will show you what comes with them. And then, let's get these unboxed. Hey, Future Mike here. And when I first filmed my unboxing of the Ecoflow stream system, they had released another version of the one with the MPPTs. And after I started editing and getting it all buttoned up, they released another version with MPPTs. So now on the menu for the Ecoflow stream systems, you have, starting with the biggest and the baddest of them all, you actually have an Ecoflow Stream Ultra X. Ultra X meaning it has the extra large battery. So instead of the 1.92 kilowatt hours on the battery, it's actually the, 3.84 kilowatt hours of battery with 4 MPPTs. So you keep the same number of MPPTs as this Ultra, it's just you get double the battery. Then, of course, the second one, this is the Stream Ultra, which I was talking about with the 4 MPPTs and the 1.92 kilowatt hour battery. Then you have the Ecoflow Stream Pro, which has the 3 MPPTs and the same battery. And the one that I didn't mention was the Ecoflow Stream Max, which has 2 MPPTs and the same battery. So now there's a whole 4 different versions of the Ecoflow Stream with MPPTs. You have 2 with the 4 MPPTs, and 2 different size batteries, the normal size and the double size battery. Then you have the one with 3 MPPTs and a normal battery, and then 2 MPPTs and a normal battery. And there's still at the moment, 2 expansion modules, you could call them, where you have the Stream AC Pro, and then you have the Stream AC. The difference between the two is this one has the 2 additional outlets on the back with the switch, and you can daisy chain system after system, and the Stream AC only has the single connection in the back that goes to grid. So that's kind of a standalone battery that you would put into this ecosystem to expand your capacity. So had to make a correction in here really quick, and now back to where we were. All right, so I moved them down to the chair because these things are very heavy. They're somewhere around like 40 pounds a piece. And that's because of the battery. You know, the battery's very heavy. I think they advertise them as about 22 or 23 kilos a piece. Let's get this open. You gotta love opening up that factory seal. So this is the Ultra that we're opening right now. So the Ultra is gonna come with a little bit extra stuff as compared to the Pro. So of course we have the obligatory installation guide. And if you're here in Europe and you're not an English speaker, you speak, whether it's Deutsch, Italian, whatever, the manual does have various languages inside. Also, there is a QR code on the manual that you can go ahead and go to the website and get the language of your choice. This is the AC power cable. So if you remember, I was talking about how it plugs into the electrical outlet. So it has this standard, at least for Germany and for where we are here in Europe, it has this standard plug. This plug plugs into your normal outlet. And like I was saying about its safety feature, if it didn't have that feature where it looked for the electricity, you know, on the grid, you would touch these and you'd get a shock. Well, because it looks for electricity before it sends electricity, you're safe to touch this and put it in the wall and all that without getting a shock. So it does have that special connector for on the back of the unit. Then we have a cover, and this cover goes on the back of the unit to make it all pretty. And of course, big high density foam. We'll take that out. And next thing we have here is this box. Let's see what's in the box. There we go. Okay, so the unit does have the MPPTs, so let me tip you down here. So because it has the MPPTs and it has the solar extension cables, these will allow you to extend your connection from your panels to your Ultra, and it comes with all of the ones with MPPTs. It will come with the right number of MP4 extension cables. So this one came with 8 of these because there's 4 MPPTs. There's something else over here. So this would be the brackets, I believe. That's what it looks like. Let's get it open. And what do we got here? So yes, it is the mounting screws and the 2 mounting brackets for the back of the unit. One screws into the back of the unit, and then one screws to the wall, and they will overlap and have 2 machine screws that hold them together. It also has this convenient slot in it that you can weasel these MC4 extension cables in for some cable management on the back of the unit. That's pretty neat. So it comes with the hardware, the machine screws to hold this bracket to the back of the unit, and then the machine screws that actually allow these two to be connected to each other. So that's all that's in that box. We'll move that off to the side a little bit. And then we have the unit. So let's see if we can get this out of here. Oh, she's heavy. So here is the Ecoflow Stream Ultra. Now, as I was saying, this unit has the battery inside. We'll move the box out of the way. It has a battery inside of it, and the unit also has various AC connections on the back. These AC connections, as I was saying, you could hook up like a washer or a dryer or whatever. That's these 2 ports right here. There is an AC power button on the top of these ports. So if this cable, so this is your power cable. This power cable is hooked up and it goes to the outlet and your power goes out. The unit itself will not supply power to any of your stuff in the house. However, with this power switch, these outlets, this will act like a portable power station. And you'll be able to use it to supply power to a coffee pot, a refrigerator, whatever you deem as an essential load and you want it to have power, it will power those loads. Comes with 2 little rubber covers. Something that I would prefer is some type of lanyard because I am going to lose these. I will lose these. We're not even, I might as well order extras. But as I was saying earlier, there was a cover, and this cover just drops on to the unit to afford it a little bit more of weatherproofing. So it fits on there rather nicely. There's actually a magnet. I feel a magnet that actually pulls it tight to the case, and it has room for your cables to come out. So we'll look down a little bit further on the back of this unit to where you can see here's the 4 MPPTs. So each pair being an MPPT, allowing you for 1, 2, 3, 4 panels and up to 2,000 watts of solar on those panels. Yeah, this is going to be a game changer. Like I've said, we got 1.3 megawatts out of our balcony solar plant. This is going to let me pretty much double it because right now I have 2 panels because my microinverter only has 2 MPPTs. I'm going to go to 4 panels at 430 watts because here in Europe you're allowed up to 2,000 watts on your balcony solar. So not only am I going to double it with an extra two panels, but this will store the excess because if I look at my meter actually has a second channel. You have how much power you've used, but it also has one that says how much power I've given away. And at present, I've given away 107 of those kilowatt hours to my grid operator for free because balcony solar systems don't have a contract where they pay you for your excess solar. So unfortunately, I gave those away for free. So those 107, I'm going to be able to capitalize on. Plus, we're limited to 800. I have 860 watts of panel at present. So anything that was above the 800 watts, and I've seen it peg out at the 800 watts, the solar panels don't produce anymore. With this will save any power above that to allow me to use it later. So, like I said, it's a game changer. So this one is the Ultra it has the MPPTs on the back. Comes with the power cable. Comes with those MC4 extensions. Comes with the bracket to mount it and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this one off to the side. And now I'm going to quickly open up the AC Pro to show you what the AC Pro looks like. And like I said, the AC Pro is going to be a little bit different. It does come with the instruction booklet, just like the Ultra that you see there. It has the brackets for it. And it has the power cable, like this, for it. It comes with the little cover that goes on the back to protect the outlets. And as we pull it out, here is the back of the AC Pro. So as I was mentioning, there are no MPPTs. So you can see the back is slick and there's nothing back here, right? Then we look up a little further and it has the same setup as the Ultra does. It has the 2 power outlets on there with covers, no lanyards. Ecoflow put some covers on there, or lanyards. And it has the grid connection, and this is the parallel connection. Now, I was talking about the other, there's 4 variants of this. The other variants will have 3 MPPTs down the bottom, so only 3. And then as we come up, this is going to be identical. This is going to be the same as on the Ultra, AC Pro, and the Stream Pro will have these outlets. So it will have these 4. This is the only one that's different when it comes to these outlets, is the Stream AC. The Stream AC only has this connector on it. So it only has a grid connector. You can only hook it up and use it as a storage battery per se. Or using the network or the parallel cable, you could hook it up that it powers it. The battery is with your Stream Ultra, Stream Pro, or your AC Pro. So you'll save a little bit of money by buying one that just has this connector, but Mikey's opinion, just spend the extra money and get it, at least get the AC Pro like this one here. Yes, you don't have MPPTs, but you have the outlets and everything that allows this to function like a portable solar bank. And that's part of why I like this system, is because if you want to take this and drag it out to the yard and power something, you can do that. You could unplug this cable, pick it up, granted it's heavy, and take it out to the yard and plug into it, turn the power on, and use it just like a portable power station. Take it camping, take it wherever you want. That's what I really love about, at a minimum, the AC Pro and up. They function as a portable power station. Now, I have not hooked these up. I do not know, and I can't speak for how they perform, but I can say if they work as advertised, this is a game changer. This is a big game changer. Okay, y'all, so this Ecoflow Power Stream is going to be a game changer. One thing I didn't show you is how pretty the front of these are. So these remind me of like home entertainment system speakers. It has this nice gray cover. There is an LED bar down this side and a power button for the unit, not the AC outlets, but for the actual unit to turn the unit itself on. But it has a very sleek design. I really like that design. Some others were actually popping these covers off. These covers do pop off. I think that in the future, Ecoflow may offer different styles of covers as like an accessory for these, but I don't know. I don't know yet. But that is the first look and the unboxing of the Ecoflow Stream series of balcony solar power plants. I am not sponsored. This is not sponsored at all. So I'm giving you my honest and unbiased opinion. There is no possible way they could bias my opinion, right? Because they didn't give me any of this. But these are going to be a game changer. In the next installment on these Ecoflows, we will go into how they're performing. On my other channel, my Adventures channel, we will be doing the install of all of this into and integrating our balcony solar plant into this new this Ecoflow Stream ecosystem of balcony solar storage and power plant. So yeah, these things, they're going to be a game changer. Please, if you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, leave a comment down below and we'll adjust accordingly, right? If you do like what you see and you want to see more of my content, please click the subscribe button. I know this is probably going to be the absolute first video on this channel, so you might not know what you're getting into, but please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.